Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and today we do have some patch notes for the upcoming 8.16 patch that we'll be releasing at 7 UTC, which is 2 a.m. Central Time, which is my time, 3 a.m. Eastern Time, and midnight Pacific Time tomorrow on the 18th. So, do some time conversions there. We actually did look over these patch notes last night on stream, but I want to dive into them and give my thoughts. So, we got the Japanese patch notes, and then we got the English patch notes eventually, and I've already read through all these, but I did want to talk about them a little bit. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Crustle, Stealth Rock, cooldown reduced, damage dealt to opposing Pokemon increased. Rock Tomb, damage dealt to opposing Pokemon increased. Garchomp, movement speed changed. Bulldoze, damage dealt to opposing Pokemon increased. Dragon Rush, cooldown reduced. I guess I'll do it one at a time. I was going to just like glaze over them and then come back. This is cool. I think that Crustle getting some light buffs, especially like Stealth Rock, is interesting. Rock Tomb is going to be interesting. I do think that Crustle needs a little bit of help, but not too much, because I think Crustle's actually pretty good. So we'll see how this impacts Crustle. As for Garchomp, I think that these movement speed increases, depending on how significant, could be very, very good. Bulldoze helping him out a little bit in the early game, so can't complain about that. And I love the specific wording, opposing Pokemon. So this won't like increase his like jungle clear or anything, I'm assuming. I don't know if opposing Pokemon stands for both wild or just opponents. I'm assuming opponents only. And then we have a cooldown reduction on Dragon Rush. So depending on how significant, Dragon Rush might actually definitely be the play now over Dig, but we'll see. Surf on Slowbro, duration of effect of opposing Pokemon decreased, and then Scald bug fixes, damage dealt increased. So Scald getting a buff, which is so funny, I didn't even know what Scald was for a while, not gonna lie. Chad had to remind me last night. But Surf duration of the opponent Pokemon decreased, probably a good thing. Surf is really strong, even though Slowbro wasn't like dominating the meta, probably a good thing. As for Snorlax, heavy damage dealt to opposing Pokemon decreased, block duration of effect of opposing Pokemon decreased, flail move upgrades, so flail buffs to some degree, and then the HP restoration on the Unite move is coming down. So all really good changes in my opinion. Flail getting a little bit of love, which might make it more viable, which it already was pretty good, but block mostly needing to come down in its efficacy, and then heavy slam still going to be really good, obviously, for the knockup and whatever damage it'll bring, but getting pulled down a little bit. Now, Greninja smokescreen changes. These ones are really interesting. So it's going to be less effective. Probably the smokescreen will last less time, and then the cooldown is longer. So smokescreen getting a pretty substantial nerf, it seems. We don't know how substantial, but it seems like they're definitely trying to hit it a little bit. At the same time, Water Shuriken is going to be getting a cooldown reduced, like its cooldown reduced, and then damage dealt to opposing Pokemon increase. So Water Shuriken was already like a decent option over Surf, but Surf is just better, and I anticipate that Surf will still be better, but you don't know. Water Shuriken could actually be good enough to rival Surf, meaning there might be some games where you want to take Water Shuriken and some games where you might want to take Surf. So really interesting. As for Double Team, they're reducing the cooldown. We'll have to see if that's like enough of a cooldown reduction to take over Smokescreen with the changes to Smokescreen. So we'll have to see. We'll have to do some testing. I still just imagine, you have to kind of assume with vague patch notes that Smokescreen's still going to be better, but we'll see. As for everybody else, we got a bunch of bug fixes. So Wigglytuff's bug won't be bugged, or ult won't be bugged anymore. Cinderace basic attack bugs. Snow warning on Alolan Ninetales, which is nice because that was super annoying. And then some Aurora Veil bug that I don't even know about. Yeah, so some bug fixes all around. Not even really gonna think about it too much. Avalugg from the other map is getting stats decreased, and then these are the important ones right here. So battle items eject button is getting its cooldown lengthened. I know these are super vague and stupid, but the cooldown on eject button is going up. Goal Getter is getting its cooldown reduced. Fluffy Tail is going up and increasing, like in effectiveness, so how much damage you'll actually be able to do to it, or however it works. And then X attack is going to also be stronger. So these battle items are really interesting. The battle item changes. We have to just wait and see how much more effective like X attack and Fluffy Tail is, how much lower the cooldown is on Goal Getter, and then how much longer the cooldown is on a battle button, or eject button. But it'll be very interesting. So my roundup is that this isn't going to shake up the meta too much. It's really not, I don't think. Certain characters will probably slide up a little bit, and certain characters are going to fall down a little bit. So Snorlax is going to go down a little bit, a tiny bit. Crustle going to pull in a little bit more, but I don't think this is going to change anything realistically. I do think that these changes are pretty good. I'm surprised we didn't see any changes to Lucario, or just other general game changes. Like I guess I'm a little disappointed that Zapdos didn't see a slight change, but I actually have been talking about this a lot. I don't think Zapdos needs a huge change, but that's a discussion for another time. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I know we're just kind of going over some patch notes that you've probably seen at least a couple of these, but wanted to give my thoughts on how I think this will impact the meta, because honestly, I don't think it's going to impact the meta at all. I don't think any of these changes are significant to impact the meta, depending on what they actually turn out to be, since we don't know. But we could see some fluffy tail meta, maybe eject button gets knocked down a little bit, I don't know. Depending on how buffed X attack is, might be a pretty awesome, like actually a good option to take, so you can do some burst damage with it. But overall, I mean, even if you swap some abilities here and there in some of these characters, some of these Pokemon, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would definitely love to read them, to react to them, to comment back. And as always, friends, be sure to be kind to one another. Tell someone that you love them, and I'll see you on the next video.